Hello Chocks and Chockets, number in between, Chocolo Roberto here, but not for a video review, but this time for the ultimate white chocolate showdown. Yes, I've basically got 4 bars, the most, I would say the most popular white chocolate bars there are out there at the moment, at least in the UK, more or less, because the Dream is the Australian version. But yes, well, as I say, I was going on from that, I've got the Cadbury's Dream, Australian version, the Cadbury's White, the Nestlé Milkybar, and the Milka white chocolate as well. So yes, I've got 4 of the best ones here, I would say, or 4 of the most mainstream, readily available ones, 4 of the most popular ones, and people that make comments in the comment section on my channel regularly talk about. So yeah, I would say these are the 4 to go for. I know there's other ones, but I've got to draw the line somewhere, and I think these 4 are what's going to make up the ultimate showdown. So we'll need to see which is the best. So normally I do review these, as I say, and I've done, in the sort of like in the description, I'll link all the individual reviews of them. But this time I'm just going to go based on taste, really. So I'm not going to go into too much detail over each one, other than just to compare the taste and see how the, I mean, I might talk about some other things, so such as the calories or something. But pretty much it's just going to be basically about the taste. And if you want to see more in-depth reviews for each different one, then I will have the links in the description as well. So yeah, so leading on from that, I've done about over 600 reviews now. So in this top corner here, there will be a link to a playlist of all my reviews. So feel free to go watch those after you've watched this one, and subscribe as well, of course. And if you're in a position to do so, there'll be a link to my Patreon channel there as well. So yeah, please have a look at the tiers there, and hopefully if you're in a position to do so, it'd be great if you could support the channel. It really would. So yes, but like and subscribe, things like this as well, equally is very useful and very lovely. So please do that as well. Or instead of, whatever. And or. But yeah, thanks very much, guys. Okay, well, let's get on with it then. So, okay, so what have we got? So we've got 4, let's say 4 of the major ones here. So I think what I'll do is I'll change the camera down so you can see the individual bars, and I'll open them, and I'll give them a taste after that. So, okay, let's move the camera down so you can see the bars themselves. Right, okay, everyone, so I've got these 4 different bars here. So I've got the Nestlé Milkybar, Cadbury's Dream, the Australian version, not available in the UK anymore, unfortunately. The Cadbury's White, yes, there we go, and the Milka white chocolate as well. Yeah, so all different lovely white chocolates. So some of them, see the Milka one, it's a bit more sort of creamy than the Cadbury's White, doesn't it? You can see it looks a bit more yellow, a bit more golden, perhaps. Let's see if you can see. You can, so there, just to there. So yeah, interesting. But yeah, and the so the Dream looks a bit more similar to the Cadbury's White as well, as you can see. And the Milkybar, well, there's no hint of what the Milkybar actually looks like on the front of it, really. We just got the sort of background colour of the product, so yeah. Okay, so there we go. Right, yeah, so let's give them an open then, see what they look like. Start with the Milka then. Let's have a see. So yes, Milka one open. So yeah, so quite nice. We're looking white chocolate, typical look you'd say. So I'm not going to go over sort of measuring on the size of these and things like this today, because of course I'm just going on the taste. But it has a nice white chocolate smell. Let's have a look at the Milkybar. I do like the look of the Milkybar actually. I think this one, yeah, so you can see there, looks very nice, nice and wavy. We'll sort of compare these in a bit of how they look. But yeah, nice and wavy, really nice looking bar that actually. That on the bottom. So I'll show you them in a second. More close up. So let's have a look at the Cadbury's Dream. Yeah, so this is bubbly. Yeah. Yeah, not quite as strong a smell. I think the strongest smells possibly off the Milka so far. Let's have a look at the Cadbury's White as well. So there's quite a lot going on here, so it's going to be difficult to sort of, I guess, to show you, compare them all, but I might do some fancy editing or whatever, just to compare them all side by side. Yeah, and the Cadbury White is very different again, very sort of randomised blocks here. So yeah, let's compare the colours then. So this is the Dream and the Cadbury White. Let's see if I can do this. So They're quite distinct. So I'd definitely say that the, yeah, it's definitely different colours going on here. It's the easiest way to compare what they look like. So we've got, yeah, so can you see the different colours here? I don't know how accurate or easy it is for you to tell the difference, but not much of a muchness. Yeah, I would say the Nestlé Milkybar is perhaps a bit lighter than the others. So let's see. So this is the Milka versus the Cadbury White. Definitely a bit of a darker colour to the Milka. I think it definitely looks a bit more, slightly more golden. So slightly. Yeah, very hard to tell actually. Difficult to say on that one actually. So maybe it's just from the front, from the bottom. Both look very similar. So yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, not sure about that. And then of course the Dream and the Milkybar. Again, look quite similar. It's very hard to say. I mean, they're all white chocolate, of course. You know, they're going to be similar in some respects. But yeah, they do look to be quite the same colours. Yeah. Of course, there's the Milka and the Milkybar. Yeah, so they are quite similar. Yeah. There's the Milkybar and the white, Cadbury's white. So yeah, they are very similar. It's very, I can't detect much of a difference in colour here. I really can't. When the Milka went on face up, looks a bit sort of more golden than the others, but it could just be the fact it's flatter. So I don't know. Okay. Yeah, so there we are. So I can't, there's not much to be determined from that really. They all look very nice, very similar. As I say, I mean, it's hard to, really is hard to say. Yeah, I think the Milka one does look to be slightly more yellow than the others. Maybe the white next, but it's very hard to say. Yeah. Okay, well, we should get back and have a look at the taste. Have a taste of them, see which tastes nicer. So I think that's the main thing, isn't it? So let's do that. Right, okay, once I've got the four most popular, I'd say, white chocolates in the UK at the moment, or at least, well, the Cadbury Dream is a difficult one. Popular when it was out, but now, of course, you're going to get it from the Australian version. So, yeah, but it's still talked about. People still think of it very fondly. So I would say that, you know, that is, I would still count it as one of the most talked about white chocolate products there is. So, so there we go. But you can still get it from Cadbury Australia. So I've made a list of actually the calories as well. I don't normally I do when I review them. I do go into the different calories, and you know, I wouldn't normally say comparing them is probably worth doing really. But I think it's in this case because there are some similarities. Right, so I've done it per 100 grams and per 40 grams as well. So the calories and the fat. So the Dream, so the calories per 100 grams is 547, and 31.6 grams of fat, 19.8 of which are saturates. And then if you compare that to, say, the Milka White, it's 532, 28 grams of fat, 17 of which are saturates. And Milkybar 100 grams, 542 rather, 31.7 grams of fat, 19.1 of which are saturates. And the Cadbury White, 534, 28 grams of fat, 17 of which are saturates. So actually, if you compare the Cadbury White and the Milka White, they're very similar, actually, very similar. Probably put a caption of them all on the screen now so you can see for better, you know, easier really. But basically, the Cadbury White and the Milka White, they're only 2 calories difference, and the saturated fat and the fat are exactly the same. So what's that indicative of? I don't know. I mean, you know, it seems very similar. It really does. I said, the ones are sort of, you know, I mean, they're not too dissimilar, but the difference enough. Well, these are exactly the same for the fats and only 2 calories difference. So there's obviously some difference, but yeah, it's the Cadbury Dream weight. About 50 grams. Yeah, it's about 50 grams. So I've done it by 40 grams. I think 40 grams is probably a typical bar. So, so the Dream 218.8 calories, 12.6 grams of fat, 7.9 of which are saturates. Milka White 212 calories, 11.2 grams of fat, 6.8 of which are saturates. Milkybar, Milkybar rather, 216.8 grams calories, 12.7 grams of fat, 7.6 of which are saturates. And the Cadbury White 213.6 calories, 11.2 grams of fat, 6.8 of which are saturates. So again, 11.2, 6.8, exactly the same for the Milka White and Cadbury White. And the calories, 212 from the Milka White versus 213.6 on the Cadbury White. So very similar. I mean, all not, you know, I mean, it's just that the two of them exactly the same. You know, the Dream 218 calories, 0.8, 216.8 on the Milkybar. So they're different again, you know, and they just are different. It's very similar for the Cadbury and Milka bars. So one of the least calories is the Milka. Yeah, and it also has the least fat as well. Obviously the Cadbury White is just slightly above that, with just you know, 1.6 more calories. And then you've got sort of the Dream and the Milkybar sort of tying in different ways. I think the Milkybar next probably has got 216 as opposed to 218.8 calories. The fat's roughly the same, 12.6 versus 12.7, but the saturated fat's more in the Dream. So yeah, so basically the Dream, other than the fat, comes out worse for it. But I'll put them on the screen now. So it's not, I think they're all much of a muchness. It's just quite strange to have the similarity between the Cadbury White and the Milka White. So I think that's very unusual. But yeah, it could just be coincidence because the calories are slightly different. Okay, so right, I think we should get into these then. So I'm going to snap them up a bit. So that's a bit smaller chunks of each. So I think we've got more of the others other than the Dream, so I have to be careful with the Dream. So yeah, so get 2 segments of each roughly. Here we go. Here we are. So yes, here we go. So we've got the can you see these? Yeah, let's try and hold them up a bit better so you can see them. I'm sure there's a way of holding these so it's easier to see, but unfortunately I'm not one of those people that can hold things in crazy ways. There we are, so you can see there. So we've got the Cadbury Dream on the end and the Milkybar there. So Cadbury Dream, the far right as you're looking at it, I think. Maybe far left, not sure. This side anyway, here's one here. And this is the Nestlé Milkybar. Now we've got the Milka there, and the Cadbury Dream, the Cadbury's White here. Okay, so yes. So it's handy really because the Cadbury's Dream one has Cadbury written on it, but the Cadbury's White doesn't. It's just like that. So yeah. Okay, so let's okay, so let's give it a go. So I'm going to taste the Cadbury's White first. This one I'm probably least enamoured about. But let's give it a go. Let's give it a taste. So let's see. I remember having a bit of a chemically taste. Yeah, I do get something that's a bit odd about it. I wouldn't say it's a strong chemical taste, but definitely something a bit. Let's have a see. It's not too bad, you know. Definitely better than I remember it being. I remember having a sort of chemically aftertaste, but I can't quite detect that as much now. Not too bad. Not too bad. So a bit of a cleanse. Okay. Okay, so let's try the Milka then. I'll try 2 segments of Milka because it's a bit thinner. So I'll try 2 segments. So let's give this a taste. The milk one's definitely kind of the flavour comes to you a bit later than the Cadbury's White. I think there's definitely sort of like a taste at the end that sort of stands out a bit more than it did earlier on. It's a bit of a strong sort of aftertaste with it, really. Yeah. Not too dissimilar, to be honest with you. They're not too dissimilar tasting, I don't think those. I think they've both got a very subtle white chocolate taste. Okay. Let's try the Cadbury's Dream then. So, Cadbury's Dream here. Let's give it a bite. This one's definitely got a different taste to it. Has a bit more of a as if it's flavoured somehow. Yeah. It's distinctly different than the Cadbury's Dream and the other two. The other two are quite similar. Cadbury's Dream seems to have a bit of a vanilla taste in it. Does it have vanilla in it? It just says Cadbury Dream white chocolate. Doesn't really say specifically got vanilla in it, so it might be in the small print. But it has a bit more. It has a bit more of a vanilla taste. That's all I can say. You know, it just tastes a bit more fresh, I'd say. The other two were quite subtle. That's not too bad actually. Okay, well let's give the Nestlé Milkybar a taste then. So, let's give this one a go. This is different again. It's a very rich taste, this one, very buttery. It's a very rich white chocolate. Very creamy, very sort of full on, definitely. It was one of my highest rated bars, really, anyway, the Milkybar. And I wouldn't say I'm a massive white chocolate connoisseur, you know what I mean? I'm not a massive white chocolate fan, but I enjoy it. But there's definitely people out there who love white chocolate, and I would say for me, for a white chocolate to be nice, it's got to be, you know, really not just a white chocolate. It's got to have something special about it. And there's definitely more to the Milkybar. There really is. It's just so rich. It does catch in your throat a bit because of that richness. It's just so full on. You know, it's definitely a bigger hit of a taste when you taste it. The Milka and the Cadbury White are very similar. It must be said. Let's just try the Milka one again. So again, it's not got any design on it. I would say as well, the Milka one's very plain. I mean, it doesn't really look anything special at all. You know, you can see the segments there. They're all very boring. I mean, it could be anything. You know, the Cadbury's White one has all this pebbled effect. You have to excuse all the white chocolate crumbs on it, but so this will be interesting. But it doesn't say Cadbury's White on it, and I don't really know that this symbolises Cadbury in any way, shape, or form. The Dream, of course, comes in these bubbled segments, which do look more Cadbury-like, for sure. It is a lot nicer. And obviously the Nestlé one has a lovely pattern, this wavy pattern. I really like this pattern. I think it looks beautiful, actually. Yeah. If you just look at it from the back, I don't think you can see, but look, you can see the sort of the stripes on it. Looks like a flag or something, but it looks really nice. I really like the Nestlé one. So yes, let's have a try again of the Milka one. Let's see. It just has a very mundane white chocolate taste. It just tastes of typical white chocolate. You know, it could almost be the same type you'd get from a sort of an own brand supermarket taste, really, to be honest with you. Let's try the Cadbury's White as well. I'll just have a quick cleanse. Yeah, so, okay. Okay, so the Cadbury's White, let's have a try of this one. It's better than I remembered it being. I think it's not great tasting though. It's just, I don't know if it tastes exactly the same as the Milka one. It's very hard to say here. The Milka one, I say, did taste a bit sort of very typical white chocolate. It does. It has that sort of like strong white chocolate aftertaste to it. It just, as I say, it does remind me of sort of own brand white chocolates, you know. I feel a bit like the Cadbury's White is a bit different in there, but not massively so. I feel like it's probably a bit nicer than the Milka one. I know I'm a bit worried that they are exactly the same bar. I think the Cadbury's one just has a sort of different aftertaste. When you finish with the Milka White chocolate, it kind of, it gives you sort of a typical white chocolate aftertaste. The Cadbury's White is a bit smooth as it does it, but I don't know if it's I used to think it tasted quite chemically. It doesn't seem to this time around. I don't know why that is. But it's just gives you that slight different smoothness as you swallow it, and I think it's a bit smoother than the Milka chocolate, I think, to be honest with you. There just seems to be a slight difference. The taste is roughly the same, but the sort of like it's not really an aftertaste, but it's when you swallow it, it just gives you a slight different taste. And I think it's slightly better than the Cadbury White. I think it's very close. Let's try the Dream again. So the Dream, let's have a go. In fact, I'll just have a quick sip. See? Okay, Cadbury Dream. It's definitely different than the other two. The other two are very similar. This one is just different all around. As I say, it's got very much more of a vanilla-y taste to it. I think when I reviewed this, I said it was perhaps a bit average, and I think it's probably, I think having them together, it definitely gives you the chance to realise that it's a bit different than the others. It tastes less like white chocolate though. I don't know, it tastes something like something else, almost like a decoration on a cake or something. It's very different. It does taste a bit like that. It's different. It's really different than the other two. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's as nice really, because it just has a bit of a strong. As I say, it's not like a white chocolate taste. It's like it's got something else in it. Could be vanilla. It's as close as I can describe it really. It could be something. It probably is something else, not vanilla, but it's something along those lines. Yeah. So I don't know. It's don't know. More depends if you like vanilla really. I know I think it's Green and Black's white chocolate is vanilla white chocolate. It's not actually just white chocolate at all. So you eat it thinking, oh yes, I really like that or whatever. But it's not really the same to compare it to, say, I don't know, Milkybar or something. And it does seem like Cadbury's Dream has its own recipe in that regard. There's something different about it, definitely. And so again, let's try the Milkybar again. It's different again. It really is. It's such a stronger, fuller taste. It's really a lot more extreme than the other ones. It's definitely it's just really more indulgent tasting. You could argue it's more sickly, and I could understand that, but I think you have the white chocolate. The white chocolates generally have this sickly taste. I think all of these do really. But I definitely think the Milka White and the Cadbury's White are very similar. They really are. They're quite plain. You might like that, of course. And they've got that sort of very white chocolatey aftertaste. It's a bit. I'm not always a massive fan of that aftertaste. The Milk one did anyway. Then let's see if the Cadbury's White does. They're very similar. They really are. They're very similar, those two. I mean, they might not be exactly the same, but they're very similar. They're quite average, really. Just an average white chocolate. They taste like, a white chocolate you get from a supermarket brand. They're just not really. I mean, give or take. I mean, it's a bit of a. Might be a bit, a bit harsh on them, but I think so. If you had any typical white chocolate, that's what it tastes like. It's just a typical white chocolate. The Cadbury Dream, as I say, has a very fresh taste to it. As soon as you eat it, it's kind of, it just feels a lot more fresher. When I say that, I mean it's I say that it's got vanilla in it. It's less sickly and less and it's got like a very, almost like an ice creamy type taste to it, like a vanilla ice cream. It's that kind of yeah. Just a fresher taste, which I think takes it away from tasting like white chocolate. It's not too bad, but yeah. But the one I think Nestlé Milkybar. Let's just try it again. Yeah, it's like I said. Instantly you can tell. I mean, the Milka White and the Cadbury's White, pretty much identical. There might be some slight differences, nuances in the aftertaste, but the Cadbury Dream and the Nestlé Milkybar are distinctly different from both of those and each other. Yeah, the Cadbury Dream is very, as I say, it's got a very sort of ice creamy, vanilla-y, fresh taste about it. Whereas the Nestlé Milkybar is very rich, very thick, buttery, full-on experience, definitely. You struggle to have a lot of it, I think. But yeah, it's distinctly a sort of more, a full-bodied experience, I think you could say. I can't think of a better term, but it's just very much, very thicker, very richer. It really does. There's a lot more to it than the others, I think. So it's very hard. I mean, I think I've rated these individually and things, and of course I've not tasted them side by side and things, and this time I have, of course. There is white chocolate, it's quite popular out there, and of course there'll be people who have the favourites, and I do apologise if I say my favourite is not what you like the most, of course. Just the way it goes, of course, we've all got different tastes, but I think generally I definitely would say the Milka and the Cadbury White are pretty much the same, and they pretty much taste like a very typical white chocolate. I mean, if I got Tesco's white chocolate or Asda's white chocolate, I would expect it to taste very similar to those two. It just tastes very normal, very average. I mean, of course, it might not taste exactly the same as those, but it's just, if I tasted one, I would just think, oh yeah, it's white chocolate. I wouldn't really, and the fact that they both taste the same might be sort of giving me a bit of a bias, because I'm thinking, well, they just both taste the same, both typical white chocolates. There's nothing distinct about them, so there is that. So you have to bear that in mind. But I'm quite sure that if I have a memory of what white chocolate tastes like, just a general white chocolate, those two would give me that taste. So when you've had, like, as I say, a supermarket's own brand white chocolate, you just get that taste. We have white chocolate from some chocolate biscuit selection or something, or whatever, it's got white chocolate on it, or white chocolate from a sweet selection. It generally just has a sort of very normal taste, and very typical taste, and that's what you get from these, really. And it's not unpleasant, but it's just normal. It's not, doesn't strike you as anything special. I mean, of course, if you went to a Hotel Chocolo or something, very upmarket chocolatier, whatever you'd call them, their white chocolate might be very special and very different again. But I'm just saying, when I say chocolate selection or whatever, just saying like a typical one you'd get, it's just an average one. That's what those two taste like, very average. The Dream, as I say, reminds me of vanilla ice cream. It's just that it's got something. Even feels fresh when you taste it in your mouth. There's something very distinct about it, very different. And I love ice cream, actually. I do love ice cream, but even though it tastes that way and gives me that sort of, almost like the reminder or the sensation of it, or maybe not sensation, but something about it, pulls me along, that makes me think, oh yes, vanilla ice cream. It isn't vanilla ice cream. It's not got the cold. It's not got the other things, and and generally I do like other things with vanilla ice cream anyway. And it's so I don't know. It's just not quite what I want, but it is nice in its own way. I think when I reviewed it the other day, I think I said it was quite average and quite unremarkable, and I think tasting them against the other ones here does make it stand out more. I can tell the difference now. It's and I would definitely say the Cadbury's White and the Milka White are the unremarkable ones. So I think maybe I did it a disservice, really, Cadbury's Dream, but it's only standing out because I'm tasting them compared to the others. I think normally it just has a fresh, as I say, vanilla-y taste to it, and it's not going to blow your socks off, really. And I don't think it blows my socks off now, as I say, even though it has that ice creamy feel to it. I don't feel wowed by it, do you know what I mean, or it's anything too special. It just, yeah. Yeah. It definitely just tastes a bit more creamy. Let's say a bit more ice creamy. That kind of cream taste to it. Whereas the Nestlé Milkybar, that one's really rich, really strong. Hits you straight away. How sort of buttery it is. It's a lot thicker, it has a thicker taste. It isn't physically thicker, you know, it just has a thicker feel to it, the way it melts in your mouth and things as you eat it, you know. Yeah, it's a lot more to it. It's a lot more substance, has a lot more body, you know. It's just, that's the, you know, I sound like a crazy wine expert or something. I'm certainly not. Yeah, that's just what it comes across as, really. So I'd definitely say that the Cadbury's White and the Milka White are very average white chocolates. I would say that the Cadbury Dream is probably more of a, as I say, something. I think that's going off in another direction. I think it's not really white chocolate. It's white chocolate flavoured with something or something like that, which isn't not necessarily a bad thing, but it's definitely off in another direction. That's perhaps in a, not quite the same as the other three, basically. You know, whereas the Nestlé Milk, I mean, it's difficult to say, isn't it? I mean, you know, it's because something tastes different. Can you really say it's, you know, completely different? But as I say, it just tastes flavoured. Is the gist of it. What I'm trying to say. Whereas the Nestlé Milkybar, might not be flavoured, of course, you know, but it tastes it. Vanilla flavoured, you know. Whereas the Nestlé Milkybar, just a richer white chocolate, very richer, more interesting, fuller body. You know, very sickly though, I would say. You can't really have much of it. I think I'm reaching my limit now. But yeah, so there is that. But it's definitely the better one, I think, of the three of them. I think the Dream is better in some respects, but as I say, perhaps he's just going off on a slightly different tangent. But they're very distinct. They are very distinct. I think I definitely would say, as I think I've already said it really, but the Milka White and the Cadbury White, definitely average, you know, very average white chocolate. Could be anything. If you gave me a Tesco white chocolate in my hand now, I might be able to taste some difference. Or, you know, an Asda white chocolate or Sainsbury's or whatever. But at the moment I'm tasting them now, I'm thinking, oh, it's just a typical white chocolate. Let's say the Cadbury Dream, very much off above those two, I would say, but perhaps off a bit left field. You know, it's a bit different again. It's probably more comparable really with sort of like the, as I say, the Green and Black's vanilla white chocolate. You know, it's more that way inclined. So it is nice as a result of it. I think it's better than the other two. I think the other two are very average, very 3 out of 5. I think the Cadbury Dream, I'd say it's probably 3.5, 4 out of 5. You know, it's definitely going off in that direction. But I think the Milkybar definitely stands out more. It's just richer, fuller, stronger, more to it, more interesting. It does get sickly after a while. I think maybe when I reviewed it last up, I think I gave it a 5 out of 5. I've been probably more inclined to say 4.5 out of 5 now, I think. But it could be because I've just had four different white chocolates, and they're very sickly after a bit. You know, especially the Nestlé Milkybars are quite sickly after you've had a few segments. So I think maybe, you know, that could be pushing me down one way. But I think at the moment, so maybe the 5 out of 5 is probably is fair. But I think having tasted all these, and the Milkybar being a bit sort of stronger, and it is starting to make me feel a bit, well, I wouldn't say sick, but it's you know, I don't think I can have too much more of it. So, you know, I'm gonna say, you know, I'm not gonna try and hide behind my old review score. I think having it here now, I would say a 4.5 out of 5. I think, you know, I did give it a 5 out of 5 before. I think it's probably not quite as great as I remember it being. As I say, I think it is very sickly. But, you know, it's definitely got more to it than the others, definitely. And I think the Dream, as I say, more to it than, now I'm comparing it with others, especially the Cadbury White and the Milka White. It definitely does stand above those. But as I say, it is quite a left field bar. It's in a different, I wouldn't say a different league, it's in a different range of white chocolates, I would think, really. I feel like they've added something to it, as I say. But there we go. It's a bit more ice creamy. Speaking of ice cream, I don't think you need the ice cream man or woman. Maybe you can, I don't know, but I can hear him anyway. So there we are. So there we go, yeah, so there we are, everyone. So let me know what you think, which is your favourite. Whether you know, say Cadbury Dream, B&M, you can get it at the moment in the UK. The others are all available in regular shops, so, you know, it should be easy to come to. I think Cadbury's White might be exclusive to Asda, or at least it was, but you should be able to get it quite easy enough anyway. And the other ones, as I say, you can get it in most places. And the Milka probably have to go to some like Home Bargains or something, but generally it's available. Yeah, so there we go. Let me know what you think. What's your favourite white chocolate? What do you think is the difference? Have you ever had them all together at once? And if so, what have you preferred? And do you agree with me with this, of course? Yeah, let me know. Yeah, please let me know what you think. Difficult one, as I say. I definitely don't think I can eat any more tonight of these. Yeah, I've reached my limit, I think. But hopefully you find it interesting. And yeah, as I said, I'd love to hear what you think as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you next review. See you soon. Bye for now. Bye.